This is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes here live on this Saturday morning for another edition of What's Happening College Football. We're going to be talking about week 2 action in college football. We also will be talking about, is Arch Manning going to be able to bounce back? Also, Nick Saban made a statement yesterday or a couple of days ago that we want to talk about as well. I'm here live this morning with my man Parlay Poe of Blitzburg Podcast. How you feeling this morning, Parlay Poe?
Man, I can't complain. Ain't nobody gonna listen to me. How y'all doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Also got our man Post Game of the Post Game 86 Podcast. How you feeling this morning, Post Game?
Feel great. Can y'all hear me good?
Yes, sir. We can hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Cool, man. I'm good this morning. I'm actually at work, but I'm gonna try to get it in with y'all. So bear with me.
All right, cool. I'm glad you're able to join this morning. Good to see you also, Parlay Poe. I see you. You're probably making your morning runs.
Yeah, I'm running around. But it's still go blue though.
It's
It's
still
still
going
go
blue.
blue. It's still go blue.
For sure. We're going to talk a little bit about that game a little bit later on in our morning session because that's probably the biggest game of the day, that Michigan and Oklahoma game. But first, I want to get y'all's thoughts on what Nick Saban apparently said either yesterday or a few days ago, where he said NIL has benefited the Big Ten to the point where more guys are going to go to the Big Ten as opposed to staying and going in their regionals to their regional schools that are in the South, like in the SEC. He was saying that it's going to benefit and make it more competitive for the Big Ten, and they'll probably become the major conference that's going to win most of the championships, I guess, in his opinion. What's your thoughts on that? Is NIL benefiting the Big Ten more than it's benefiting the SEC and other conferences?
Well, I'm gonna say they got to go with. They still got to want to come too, though. You know what I mean? Like some of them Texas and Florida dudes. You know what I mean? That don't like the winter, but they still getting the money. Sometimes they ain't gonna influence them. But once they look at it about all them about having getting paid like that, then that's a big influence. So right now, Big Ten is working. So right now, I'm gonna say yeah, it's benefiting the Big Ten more.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Parlay Poe. It really depends on the type of student athlete that's being recruited when it comes to the NIL and the Big Ten. But I definitely think he has a point. A lot of times you got to follow the money, but I still think the SEC. It remains to be seen if the Big Ten will overthrow the SEC and be that power conference. That it's already a power conference, but be that conference. You know what I mean? So Saban got a point there.
Yeah, I think he has a point as well. I mean, you could definitely see that NIL is allowing athletes to not only consider going to where they live at or going to an SEC school or staying down south where it's a little warmer. They're looking other places. They're thinking about going to the Oregons, the Michigans, the Ohio States. Even though all of those universities was getting good players, now the field seems like it's a little bit more wide open now that NIL is in effect. But the SEC, they still got a chance to still be able to get some guys as well. I mean, if you think about it, Texas was down in the dumps a couple of years ago. Now that they got NIL, they've been able to make some serious moves and are relevant again. Now, is he saying it's probably because Alabama's not looking too good? Even though they got a good recruiting class this year, maybe it might fall off because they're not winning at the level in which they was winning when he was the coach at Alabama. It seems like the playing field is becoming a little bit more even for Georgia and Kirby Smart. Teams are starting to catch up to them as well because we saw them lose 2 games last year, and they also, well, 3 games last year, and they also were in a lot of close battles. So maybe top teams who were before NIL maybe are starting to even out the playing field. I think we're on to something, but I think it's still good for college football, and it's going to create more parity, in my opinion. I would like to get y'all's thoughts on the NIL clearinghouse. So far, they've only, out of the 300 and some odd cases that they've looked at, they've only granted about 5% of those cases. Do you think it's because teams are just throwing things out there just to see if the clearinghouse will pass them, or do you think some of these deals are kind of are really ridiculous?
I think some of these deals is really ridiculous, but they gonna tinker with that gray area, man. You know what I mean? Until somebody say something to it, it's always gonna be a gray area that they tinker with and see if they can get away with it. So that's what I think. Like some of these deals do be ridiculous, but it's a gray area, and they gonna keep doing that until somebody say they can't do it.
Yeah, for sure. I think looking at it, it might be a mixture of both things that you stated, Rob, where they and like Parlay Post said, they might be trying to, figure out what they can get away with and what they can't, as NIL is still relatively new to college football. So I think it's a mixture of both.
Do y'all think the NCAA should have went ahead and they're going to have to go back to court again? We already know that, just based on how things are looking right now. They're going to have to go back to court. But didn't the NCAA have a golden opportunity to sort of fix this whole thing as opposed to just granting or the judge granting teams this $2.8 million? Couldn't they have sort of put some other parameters on this NIL stuff, man, so that it can be workable for everybody? Do you think the NCAA dropped the ball again when it comes to this NIL?
Big time. And it's unbelievable that somebody wasn't in that room to say this can't happen. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. Somebody in there like, man, this can't happen. We're gonna have to start paying athletes, and they start making the solution right then and there. What if it happened, and this is what we got to do to get ahead of it? And just granting people all that chunk of change, you know what I mean? It's not helping them. You see right now, NIL is crazy. I'm talking about players is not playing because they've been promised something and not getting it. You know what I mean? So yeah, they NIL crazy. I think they could have got ahead of the chains on this one.
These are facts. When I was coming up playing football, when I was a young man, I had OGs talking to me about NIL, and I didn't even know what it was, but I had OGs pull me to the side like, hey, man, and I'm talking about early 2000s, late 90s. They told me, listen, these colleges is making millions and millions of dollars off football players. And you mean to tell me we can't get $3 to $5 grand a semester? And that's all he was asking for. These players now are getting millions. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think the NCAA should have been on this, and they dropped the ball, and it might be their biggest downfall when it comes to college football.
Yeah, let's welcome also to the show our man Mossberg of Level Up Sports 10. Mossberg, we're talking about the statement that Nick Saban made about NIL benefiting the Big Ten more than some of the other conferences, because now athletes who wanted to stay down south and play ball are now going up into the Midwest where it's a little colder at because of NIL. Do you agree with that statement? And do you think that that's going to affect the SEC to the point where the Big Ten will become dominant?
That's actually a good discussion. For me, I mean, the landscape of college football is changing. The NIL is a big factor, but I mean, Nick Saban can say what he want when it comes down to it. Georgia won the last few, and you got the Big Ten has won the last couple titles. But we see, some people stayed away from these schools and still do because of the weather. But I mean, the Big Ten is football. If you ask me, honestly, I don't know. I might want to go play in that Big Ten, man, because you guarantee, constant talk. I know we talk about the Big Ten and SEC all the time, but the Big Ten is starting to be a place where you want to play. I mean, the NIL is a big factor, but I mean, Nick Saban can say what he wants. I don't know if that's a little SEC bias in some type of way, but man, these kids are choosing where they want to go to. They want to play football in the Big Ten. It's a great conference, powerful conference, and the support is big in the Big Ten, as we do see as well.
Yeah. Parlay Poe mentioned a good point when he said that some of these guys who have decided to go to some of these schools or who have committed this year to some of these schools, and now these schools are not able to get their NIL deals through the clearinghouse. How are they going to be able to pay these guys? And will these guys decide, listen, I'm not going to go to work for nobody, and then you can't fulfill the contract. You can't pay me what you told me you was going to pay me. How much do you think that's going to affect schools like USC, who, for instance, got a lot of deals out there on the table, who got a huge recruiting class this year? Texas Tech. I even heard Florida's name mentioned in this thing as well. I haven't heard anything about a Notre Dame, a Texas, or Ohio State, or Florida State, or Michigan, but some of those other schools' names have been mentioned about them not possibly being able to fulfill some of their NIL deals because the clearinghouse is not approving some of this stuff. So what's your thoughts on that?
Could this be part two? With this NIL situation, this be another factor. Some kids choose other schools. I mean, this is a big deal. You putting these kids in a situation where they making decisions that adults would make, at a young age. And when it comes to this type of money on the table, they're going to make decisions based on that bread, as we call it sometimes. And this is the way that they've made things, with this NIL, but they have to get some kind of stronghold in a way to where these kids, we got to forget that we're talking about kids. We can't forget that, and got to make it better for them in the long run, because we put a lot on them, as athletes, but in the long run, are we really doing our part, or are we making it, tougher for them in some of the decisions they make, which, goes to their loyalty and things like that. These are decisions that's affecting their life as well. So we got to think about that. I think they need to do a better job overall. It just makes me think about stuff that we do now today. We do it for the love of what we do. We love doing it. So, we're going to support them as much as we can and give them the best, advice as we can as well. But we looking for the fact of them being student athletes. They got to do a better job for these kids.
Parlay Power post game. Do y'all got any thoughts on that statement that we made earlier about some of these schools offering NIL deals to guys that they may not even be able to fulfill?
Yeah, that's a big promise right there. That's what I'm saying. That's the whole thing about this. If you can't promise, they said everything to get this dude in the door. Now they don't got the bread for him. They can't find the bread for him. Of course he gonna tell them I ain't gonna pay, because he probably promised his mom or somebody something. You know what I mean? Like, so some of these, like you said, some of these schools ain't gonna be here fulfill that.
What's your thoughts post game? Oh, he has to click out. All right, cool. So maybe he can jump back in a little bit later on. I know he was at work this morning, so maybe he can jump back in a little bit. KT is saying corporate money is the key, and also the clearinghouse could be biased in certain situations. Wow, that's good. I mean, is it possible that whoever's on this clearinghouse, could they be favorable to certain teams in certain situations? Would they be biased?
See, look, and you know what? It's funny he said that because now we can go back to Saban's statement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You go right back to Saban's statement now. You know what I mean? Like
they're gonna clear some of that money to make sure Alabama good and some of these other schools suffers. Like it's you really
that Big Ten. That
Yeah.
Big Ten, that's what he's talking about. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if Big Ten, he claiming Big Ten got more money or they willing to set something out, but it can go back to Saban's statement, man. Like,
that's crazy. It's good to see you in here this morning, KT.
Yeah, good to see you here, KT. Whenever you think about this corporate money, man, they really need to make sure that they personally give an athlete their endorsement, as opposed to it going through a school's initiative. Like, say for instance, I always try to bring up Texas because I know Texas has the Texas One Fund, and they get all of these donations for some of these athletes, and that's some of the money that they use to tell players, listen, we can offer you this or offer you that. But if it goes through the clearinghouse, maybe the clearinghouse is like, no, I ain't trying to pass this one. Because out of 300 and something odd cases, they've only passed 5% of them so far, but they've only looked at about a little over 180 something of them so far. So they still got another about 180 to go. So only about half of them have actually been looked at so far. I'm wondering is there anybody that could be on these committees that could possibly be biased and probably keep a player from going to a certain school because they blocked the money? Is that a possibility?
it could.
It could. I mean, it could be, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure post game is all the way back in or not.
Had that airplane going on.
No, he had to click back on. Let me ask y'all this, man, because I'm starting to wonder if corporations are going to really start investing in colleges, in sports, on the college level, to the point where they're gonna purchase a certain percentage of a university's spending, their equity, almost like you will see on the stock market, and maybe colleges and universities might be on the stock market someday. Is that a possibility if corporations start to buy stock in these schools and they turn it totally into a business, as opposed to a state-funded school or a private school? Will corporations, because I've heard this talk before, that corporations are starting to think about buying into certain companies, going into certain schools, because it's big business. Sports has become big business. And I think corporations want in on some of that pie.
Yeah.
Do you think some of that might happen where schools might end up even on the stock market?
They said that before, though, didn't they?
Yeah, they said that before.
Yeah, they said that before. Like, like you can get a piece of a team that's the crazy thing. So you can buy your way into something, especially if you got a lot of money. You know what I mean? But I don't know if these major, like these super major colleges want that to happen. I don't think they want some of these big corporations uh owning some of that like that.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. I was just sitting there thinking I'm gonna get me a little piece of the Buckeyes if I could purchase it like a little stock. 'Cause, I mean, it's crazy because you see a lot of these universities making a ton of money. You think about Texas, you think about Ohio State, you think about Michigan, you think about Florida schools, you think about California schools. It's a lot of money in this college football network, and that's something that I think they will be doing. It's a good point you brought up as well.
It's almost like they're getting very, very close to becoming like a not professional, because we already know the NFL and the NBA, that's the professional league. But it's almost like they're becoming in line with that kind of a professional sport, man, because it's so much money out there. You already know that people who got billions of dollars, all they want is more money, bro. So they're gonna try to find their way in, man.
Well,
And I'm hoping that it doesn't take away from the integrity of the college game, because each and every one of us on this set today, each and every one of us in the chat today, we love college football for what we know college football is, and we don't want it to turn into something to where now you got guys playing in games, and now you can bet on it now. Guys are starting to, tell their homies, listen, man, this is the money line on our game. I'm going to sit out the second half, man, and we're going to lose this game and get that money. Much like you seen the guy in the NBA dealing with that situation. I'm glad he was cleared of it, but
Yeah.
it's starting to mess with the integrity of the game, man. And I hope that corporations don't be allowed to come in to that magnitude to where they can mess it up, man. I really do.
Do you think any blue bloods are having trouble paying the nil sometime?
Well, when you start talking about I don't think blue bloods, no, not unless you're thinking about maybe USC, maybe they may have some issues, maybe a Florida, but when you start talking about Alabama, Georgia, Texas, or Michigan, Ohio State, I don't think any of them ever gonna have any issues paying, because they got guys. You know what I'm saying? They got people. So they ain't gonna have no issues. But I think some of these other universities, they may have some issues, man, because they don't have guys. They got a lot of alumni who graduated from their university, but they're not necessarily big-time entrepreneurial guys, man. Or maybe they passed away and now their children are taking care of the business, and they ain't so inclined to the university like their parents were, or their great grandparents were. So it can happen, but I don't think it'll happen to the major blue bloods. But when you think about USC, Florida, it could possibly happen there. It can definitely possibly happen there. What's your thoughts on this first game coming up earlier today with number 11 Illinois favored by 2.5 at Duke, and the over and under is 49.5? Do you think that Illinois can cover that on the road at Duke?
This was my sleeper game if we would have did our show. You know what I mean? Like, this was my sleeper game because I told you Manny Diaz can coach. You know what I mean? Like, and we still trying to figure out Illinois. We just going on Illinois from what we seen last year. but this Duke team, they scrappy, man. So this the game I really want to see first. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm gonna say, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna take Duke in 2.5.
Parlay Pope got Duke in the 2.5.
This is another big conference game for me. The Plains keep going over here and there and the dog barking, but I'm taking Duke. I'm going ACC. We had a great showing these first few weekends, you know, against other conferences. I think this will be another big win, but this time going against the Big Ten. Even though Illinois is coming in, I think Duke gets that win, 2.5 points. It's tough, especially with Duke being at home. They have a heck of a coaching staff, like Parlay Post said, and I think they're going to be up for this game. Illinois is coming in the top 15 team. I think this is what Duke want. You know, they're a year stronger, played together last year a lot, so I think they're ready for this game and can definitely win against Illinois today at home.
Yeah, fellas. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I think Duke. I think this is gonna be one hell of a game. But I think Illinois will edge Duke out. And you know, y'all heard me all summer. I'm really high on this Illinois team, and I think they'll be major players in the Big Ten this season. So I'll take Illinois, and I'm taking the points.
Man, this is a really, really good contest for Illinois, for us to really see who and what they are. It's on the road, and they only favored by 2.5, and they're the 11th ranked team in the country.
yeah.
And they're only favored by 2.5, which lets us know that Duke got something over there. Otherwise, this margin would be much larger than what it is. I think this is going to be a really good test for Illinois. They got a lot of returning players coming back. Man, this is a hard one to really pick, but I'm going to go with Illinois. I'm thinking that they can at least win by a field goal and cover that 2.5. So I'm going to go with Illinois, and I'm taking the points for Illinois. I think they can cover that 2.5.
Yeah, real quick, guys. Illinois has to be physical and be able to run the football, and that's how they can get the job done. They don't want to make the game a shootout. They want to be physical, control the clock, and I think they can edge out Duke.
Yeah.
JT is saying Diaz is a defensive guru, and he is. It's going to come down to the trenches for Duke. Can they handle it? Will they be able to handle Illinois in the trenches?
That's a good question.
I mean, if I had to think about it, I'm thinking that you got a Big Ten team who know they better have some trenches because it's a battle in the Big Ten against an ACC team who some of their teams do have trenches, but others don't. And Duke might not be a team that can really get trenches like an Illinois team can. So I'm gonna lean towards the trench battle being won by Illinois.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Illini too, with the trenches, because they seen this kind of play before. Like you said, the Big Ten trenches. You know, man, you got to have them big uglies up front. So I'm gonna get the trenches definitely to Illini.
I think that's next is
What's your thoughts on Baylor at number 17? SMU is favored by 2.5 points. The over and under is 64.5. A whopping 64.5. Man, that is ridiculous. Man, what's your thoughts on this?
So they think this thing gonna be slanging around the field. Robertson for Baylor, he threw for all them yards. Well, he threw for 3,000 last year, but I ain't like his performances last week. And then got the young boy from SMU, Jenny. You know what I mean? He a young boy, so he got the arm too, but his legs is nice too. So right now, I'm gonna go with SMU in that 64. I'm gonna go a little under that until I know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Yeah,
going
that 64 and a half is crazy. Like, looking at all the games, that 64 and a half is outnumbered on the over and under by massive games by like 10 points almost every other game. I agree with you with this Baylor team. Great things out of the quarterback. I know post game speaks highly on this quarterback, if I'm not mistaken, Roberson. But for me, SMU, I've seen that run game from, I believe, Chris Johnson Jr. I was just looking at some highlights yesterday, and having Jennings, like you said, that wow factor. You know, them legs, they can move. So I'm going SMU. I'm staying in the ACC again, and you got to look. The ACC is in some great games to start these first few weeks. They're going against the Big Ten, as we said before, in the Duke, Illinois. Now I'm going against the Big 12. Started off against the SEC and a few other conferences. So I'm going to stay home, and I'm going to go with SMU on this one. ACC.
Wow, fellas. That's 60. That's a high point total, man. That's ridiculous. But it makes sense to me because these two teams want to score. You got Jennings and you got Robertson. They finna put up some big numbers, and I'm really excited to see this game. I don't expect much defense. I do expect a high score, but I'm going to take Baylor. They really need to win this game, taking that loss to Auburn in week 1. And if they're going to be major players in the Big 12, they got to find a way to get the W over SMU. A lot of points scored. I think it's going to come down to that one defensive, that key defensive play, that interception, that fumble. Whichever defense gets that is going to win the game. I'll take Baylor. And I know 64 sounds a little ridiculous, but they might go over that, fellas.
I mean, you got a point because they can put up some points. I mean, you're right.
I don't know about that. Yeah, they can, but dang, that's actually 65. You got to score 65 to win. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they go, man.
Y'all gotta think about it though. These two teams play zero defense.
right. We already know SMU don't, man.
They gonna march up. Listen, if you like offense, if you like scoring in college football,
It's the game
for you. Oh yeah.
Man, I'm scared of that 64 and a half, though. I would definitely not even mess with that. Well, if I was going to mess with it, I would bet the under because that's a lot of points, man, which means that they don't think neither one of these teams going to play any defense.
Yeah.
And Dave Aranda, the head coach of Baylor, is a defensive guy, too. And I'm like, dude, you can't keep nobody from scoring no points. I really want to see if SMU was really that good to be ranked 17th in the country. They're at home. They're still, both of these teams are from the state of Texas. I'm interested to see what this game is going to look like. Apparently, they think it's going to be a close game because it's only a field goal difference in the over and under. I mean, in the spread. Oh, man.
I keep looking at that 64 and a half.
That 64 and a half was nuts, right?
Man.
I'm a pick Baylor to win this game, man, outright.
Ooh.
And I'm taking them with the 2.5. I'm picking Baylor to win it outright. Get SMU up out of there.
Since you taking
Baylor, because post game say that their quarterback is all that.
Since you taking Baylor, this is what I'm gonna do, Parlay Po. I'm gonna take SMU and I'm gonna take that 64 and a half. I'm gonna take the over today, just because I think when he said Baylor gonna get the win at SMU.
Moss taking the over.
I'm gonna take the over, and I got Baylor.
Oh.
And I got SMU. This could
Hey, I
separate
wouldn't
us
be.
in both this week.
Y'all know I'm heavy on Robertson and Baylor, but listen, I wouldn't be surprised if Jennings got the job done today.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
Jennings, I
see
mean,
that
that,
too.
that running factor too. I wonder if Baylor's defense, like you said, the guru, I wonder if he's going to step up and actually get some stops today at SMU. That's a good question too.
I mean, it's game two. I'm quite sure they done made some adjustments from game one, the way Auburn pitted on them. I don't know if SMU can run the football like an Auburn. Are they as physical as an Auburn? So I'm thinking Baylor has had a really good test in that first game. They got some things that they can adjust to now because they got beat up on. So I'm thinking that Baylor might have a better opportunity because they have more to adjust, and they can probably make those adjustments because they got a really good quarterback who I think can make some plays for them. That's why I'm going with Baylor in this one.
You must ain't see Junior's highlights last week.
He ain't seen
Who
them
that?
yet. Don't say nothing. Don't say
The dude for SMU?
Yeah,
nothing.
you ain't
Nah, I
seen
didn't
Junior's
see.
highlights.
I
Yeah,
didn't see his
Junior.
highlights.
Oh my
That's
God,
is,
he's
is
slick.
that his is
He's
that his
slick,
son?
man.
Is that the
He's
quarterback?
no,
Nah,
he
the
the
running
running back.
The running back. Oh, okay.
Is
Okay.
Yeah,
that
oh, he's slick. He's
that
slick,
Johnson
man.
Senior? Is that Johnson's son?
You gotta be.
You had him in Tennessee. It's another
Yeah.
one out there, and it's his son, by the way. I do believe so. That cutback was something special. I see in the highlight room.
Yeah, KT said that their SMU's head coach is an offensive genius too.
Yeah, they got some formations, man, for sure.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Let's look at this next game on the slate, man. The Battle of Iowa. We got Iowa, and they got their plus 3.5 at Iowa State. Iowa State's favored in this game by 3.5, and the over and under is 43.5. Last year, the game was a low-scoring game. Two good defensive teams. Do you think they can surpass that 43.5? And who do you think wins this? And who you got?
I don't think Iowa State want to be little brother no more. Cross state rivals, you know what I mean? Like, and then that Iowa State's quarterback Rocco, man, he showing me something with them tall big receivers.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take Iowa State, and I'm gonna say that 43.5 is kind of high in this game too. I'm gonna say the under. I'm gonna say the under 43.5, but I'm taking Iowa State.
So that they know something that we don't know, and I'd say that's on Iowa State's behalf because earlier I had there my little write up. It was at 41.5, so it went up 2 points. So I'm going with Iowa State as well, and I think, like you said, I think they might separate just for a few years after this win this week. Rocco is a different beast as we've seen these first couple of weeks so far in this college football season as well. So having him there. It's just a different element, I think, that's presented for Iowa State now, which keep them high up in these rankings these past few years. And along with that physical play that they have, they will hit you in the mouth. I think we're going to see a lot of that today. They at home. Of course, it's a rivalry. And you mentioned them long receivers. I think he's going to catch one on a deep ball today. I don't know what it is. He might catch one on a deep ball, but like you said, I'm going to take the under. Nice defensive battle. Iowa don't got enough to get them points.
Interesting, fellas. I'm gonna take the under in this game also. Iowa State, I didn't think was gonna be as physical as they showed against Baylor or against Kansas State. Excuse me. I like that big nose tackle they got in the middle. And Rocco showed me something last week, and I'm not gonna bet against them this week. I think they make one more play than Iowa in a low-scoring game. They'll be able to match Iowa's physicality in the trenches, I believe. And I think Iowa State gets this game.
Yeah, I'm going with Iowa State as well. I know that Iowa's going to play some really good defense, but it's in Ames, Iowa. I think that they're going to get the crowd into it. I think they're going to win this game. And it's kind of hard to bet against Rocco Beck when you don't have a high-powered offense that he's facing, because they're not facing a Iowa team. Well, somebody said they're going to better throw the ball this year. I don't know. It's yet to be seen. So if they can't throw the ball better than they have the last couple of years, man, they're going to get beaten this game. So I'm taking Iowa State. I don't know if they're going to cover that 3.5 though. So I'm taking Iowa State to win it, but I'm taking Iowa with the points because I think it's only going to be a 3-point victory. In fact, it might be a last-second field goal by Iowa State to win.
So it's Kirk Ferentz. Is he wearing out his welcome? He been there since what, 98, 99, but they just went to the Big Ten championship a couple of years back, but he ain't been doing nothing lately. You know what I mean? You're starting to get in that later Hayden Fry field with Iowa. You know what I mean? They don't even get the big boy linemen like they used to. You know what I mean? Like, so
it's weird.
They had a nice little back couple years ago. Actually, their back played for us. He did win. He was first team Big Ten and the Big Ten leading rusher. But
Johnson.
That's what they do. They run the ball. You know what I mean? They run the ball.
Yep.
So,
I don't.
Go ahead.
I don't know, Poe. I don't know if he's. I don't think Iowa, like you just mentioned, is the same type of program from back in the days, like you talking about. But I don't know if it's a case where Iowa is just too loyal to him to make a move. He probably did enough to be able to go out on his own terms. But I definitely agree with you. Iowa is definitely not the same as far as physicality and that brand of football they used to play as we were coming up and in the mid to early 2000s. So I don't know if he's wearing out his welcome, but they're definitely not the same. I don't know if Iowa wants to move off of him though.
Well, I'm gonna say this, man. If Iowa right now is still a good destination for somebody who is up and coming, who can bring some new flavor to the school. They better not wait too long and become like Wisconsin, bro. If they're gonna do something, they better do it, because if they don't do it this year or next year, they'll mess around and become like Wisconsin, man, and then they won't be a good destination for somebody up and coming, man. And I think they might need to move on from him if they don't do something this year.
Yeah, totally agree.
What's your thoughts on Oklahoma State? Will they be able to keep Oregon from beating them by 28.5 points, which is what Oregon is favored by out there in Eugene? The over and under is 55.5. Now, a team is favored by 28.5, and the over and under is at 55.5. That means that Oklahoma State ain't planning on scoring no points.
Yeah,
we know Oregon's scoring some points.
That's kind of disrespectful right there. 28.5, but Oregon is gonna beat them up though. Yeah, Oregon gonna beat them up. They probably hang a 50 ball. You know what I mean? But beat them by 28. I wonder if the teammate. I wonder if Oklahoma State's team, like, man, they got them favored by 28 points. You know what I mean? Like, that's disrespectful. Just like when Ohio State was favored by 21 against us. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm taking Oregon, but that oh man, 28 points, man. I don't know, man. 29 actually. But that's I'm gonna stay away from that. I just know Oregon gonna beat them up. And Oregon might have 50 by themselves, so I'm gonna say the over.
You saying you going over?
Yeah, I'm going. They're gonna have 50 themselves.
And if you're gonna say they're gonna have 50, I'm gonna go ahead and take the 28. Give me Oregon on everything.
Yeah.
Give me the 28.5 and the over. It's that type of weekend. You never know what you're gonna see. We've seen USC put up 73 last week.
Yeah.
So I mean, anything's possible, as KG said. I'm gonna take Oregon over and the points. Why not? Shout out to little bro and his Ducks in Eugene.
Man, that's 4 touchdowns and a field goal, bro.
Yeah.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
That's what I said.
And listen, Mike Gundy, man, I mean, I think he's still got a little bit of pride left. So I don't think he's going to let him do him like that, man.
I hope not.
Man,
He
I
might
hope
not. He might not have a choice, Rob.
He
Yeah,
might not.
nobody really been talking about Oregon this year. You know, Oregon, this might be a game because if you think about it, we haven't really talked much about the Ducks in these first few weeks. Why not? Let's give them their flowers. They won the Big Ten last year, respectively. They might put a little sandstorm on them today.
Yeah, they're gonna beat them up. They're gonna beat them up, but that 28 points is a lot, bro. That is
I know. I'm gonna take it on the heart with this one, man. I think they're gonna do it since we ain't been talking about them early in the season. Then we're gonna have to talk about it.
Well, you know, fellas, I mean, we've been talking about Dante Moore here and there in the offseason. I really like that kid's talent, and I said before, I hate we let him get out the Midwest. But Oregon has a slew of running backs. Like they got depth at running back.
Yeah, they do.
That man, is it Lamar, the second or third string running back? Cold.
Yeah.
Well, cold. So yeah, I don't think Oregon stands a chance today. I think they get, blew out, and that it is what it is.
Who they got replacing Evan Stewart at that other wide receiver position?
I don't know. I know they had some little fast white boy that was playing in that slot. I don't know if he hurt or he don't play no more. Let me see.
They still got the one I played last year. I forget. He was behind Ted Johnson in receiving yards. They still got one of their receivers, I believe, from last year. But like you said, post game, that running back is special. He fast, and they are loaded at running back position. They got quite a few running backs, and I think that first week, both of their running backs broke runs too in that win. So
yeah, they said some dude named Moore.
Yeah, DeCorian Moore is the freshman. I know he's gonna be out there.
Yeah, and then they got Cooper Perry.
So Tez Johnson and the guy who spit on the Ohio State player, they both aren't there anymore.
I don't think so. I think they both left last year for sure. Tez Johnson.
Yeah, the Cooper. Yeah,
well,
Cooper Perry. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's Oregon. We know they're gonna have somebody in that spot. Yeah, but I'm gonna take Oregon to win the game, but I'm not picking them to cover that 28.5.
Yeah, he said Oregon picked up 59.
I know, said Oregon put up 59.
That's why I said they might hit that. They might hit that 50 ball today, but you know what I mean. But 28 is man. So they got to. They put up 50, man. What's they can't score. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I hope Mike Gundy them don't get blanked, but I would definitely take the over if Oregon's scoring like that.
Yeah.
Because all you need out of Oklahoma
State is Post game going crazy at the JOB. You all right, Post?
Man, I'm at the trap this morning, and y'all bear with me because I'm ducking the federales.
Nah, you good, man. You good. We respect the grind.
Let's look at this. USF is getting 18.5 points at number 13, Florida. UCF played some really physical football against Boise State that first game, man. I'm thinking they can match physicality. They in the state of Florida. They playing against Florida. They always got to be up for a contest like this, right?
Yeah.
Is Florida going to be able to drop 18.5 on their head?
I think they they disrespected Brown, the quarterback from USF, but
Yeah.
he played real well last week with that 18.5. Even though Florida beat their man handily, they had their true freshman. He even got in as quarterback.
Yeah.
But Lagway, we already know his talent and everything. They talent. They probably know each other. These two teams know each other. But I'm still taking USF with the 18.
You know, he's suspended for the first half of the game. He got some trouble. He
Who,
went to a
Lagway?
party. He missed curfew, so he's suspended for the first half of the game.
Okay.
That's
Lagway.
probably why it's 18 and a half, probably.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
That just came out
Lagway.
yesterday.
So if Lagway suspended, you know, like
No,
you
not
said,
Lagway, not Lagway,
from
Brown.
South Florida.
Brown, yeah.
I gotta
So
go
that's
with Florida.
That's why it's like 18. I know he was suspended, so I'm going Florida now.
Yeah, I gotta go Florida now with that because, like you said, man, I had this game marked after seeing them play last week. They a different team. They much more physical. So, you know, it's crazy. I'm going Florida. I was gonna go USF, but with Brian being hurt, that's a big loss for them for the first half. I think it'll be tough to rebound, knowing Lagway gonna come out and play tough. Good to see you in here, Hebron 78. That Go Blue. Appreciate the shout out to the Houday nephew. We see you in the building, ringing bells, check marks with the notebook. We appreciate you, man.
Go Blue, Haran. Go Blue.
Yeah,
Oh, y'all got Haran in here today.
yes, sir, man. Haran 78. One of the
Poe
guys.
got the snipers in the chat.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, fellas, I'm gonna take Florida. You know, I think it may start off close and Florida pulls away eventually. You know, I just got that much faith in Lagway, where you know I just believe in the kid, man. He gonna make the plays necessary to win this game. So I'll take Florida in a close one. Well, not a close one. It'll start close, but Florida eventually pull away.
Yeah, I'm taking Florida in the 18 and a half as well. By the time Brown gets into that second half, it's probably already going to be ugly. And he's going to come out there and his dude's already going to be defeated because they already going to be punched in the mouth. So I'm taking Florida in the 18 and a half in this one. I don't know if I'm going to mess with that 57 and a half, that over, though. I think it might be under that. But I think Florida going to put it on them because by halftime, they're already going to be up 21 probably. And they're going to probably be too physical for UCF, even though UCF was very physical with Boise State. But that ain't really saying much. Yeah, your Buckeye dude, he didn't come on this morning.
What you say?
He said, "Where my Buckeye buddy at?" He talking about Zay. He not stunt doubling for a Whoopi Goldberg film, is he? He just playing. Haran 78, we gotta bring you in. We appreciate you, man. We be even in the chat sometimes talking about you, man. Keep it coming. We appreciate that Go Blue in you, boss.
All right, y'all. The last game we got on the schedule before we wrap it up, we got number 15 Michigan. They're getting 4.5 points at Oklahoma. Number 18 Oklahoma at that, who's favored by 4.5, and the over and under is 43.5. What's your thoughts on this game? Now that's a pretty low over and under, which means both of these two teams gonna have some really, really good defense. What's your thoughts on this?
Respectively, we gonna let the man of the hour with his Michigan boys go last. But the other day they had it at -2.5 and 46.5. So, like you said, I think it's gonna be some great defense. I'm going with the blue. That's that team up north. Because I seen the team come from on the east side last night. They came up north and they got mollywopped in the high school game. So Oklahoma gonna come up north and they gonna get handled. You know, for me, I like Michigan in this one, man. I like Michigan. I like Underwood. They always say I'm a silent Michigan fan, so I'm taking Michigan and the points today since y'all think I'm a silent fan. But it's go Noles this way.
Yeah, man. I personally believe that Underwood is special. Of course, it's gonna take time for him to put it all together, but I think that kid is talented, and I'm high on Underwood. I believe if Michigan can dominate the line of scrimmage, because I still don't believe in Oklahoma's offensive line. I think if they can get after their quarterback, it could be a fairly easy win if they can do that. If Michigan can get after that quarterback and put him on his behind, then I think they can win fairly easy. If not, it's going to be a tough game. But I'll take Michigan, man.
Man, even though I like for Oklahoma to be undefeated when they play Texas, not this time, man. I'm taking Michigan to win this game outright because I ain't rubber for fucking Oklahoma. Listen, it's 8:59 and OU still sucks. I'm not picking them. I think Michigan defensively is going to be able to create some problems for Mateer, and I think they're going to win this game, man. Even though Oklahoma has a really good defensive front, their offensive line is horrible. And you already know Michigan's front seven is going to be there. So I'm got Michigan winning this game, man. And I think that they're going to cover that. They're going to cover that 4.5 that they're getting. So I'm taking Michigan in this game to win it outright.
Yeah, with my boy Jay Sean Barnum out for the first half. Terrible call, like Ron said. But watch his replacement, this dude named Cole Sullivan. He nice too. He a tackling machine. I like him.
He a hitter.
Yeah, but we're gonna dominate them up front and in the trenches and with the big uglies. Damon Payne, Benny, Rayshawn Benny, and more. Yeah, we're gonna get after Mateer. I seen Mateer make some mistakes last week. Yeah. So you know what I mean. I expect our secondary to be on tool with that, and then when we up front, it's gonna be tough sledding. But we got to run the ball, and the young boy have to make the throws easy. Give him some easy plays at first, and then hit him with that play action with that bomb.
I'm gonna say, man, something that nobody really said nothing about coming into this game, man, to this season. Y'all's run game, man. Hayes, I think we need to talk about him a little bit more this season. 150, regardless of who you play, you come out with $150 on just a few touches, which was only, I think, like 17 or 22, maybe $150. That's great football, and that's over 5 yards to carry. So that's big. You know, a big playmaker for Michigan when you think about it, having that $150 a game or just having 100 a game. So, you know, I think Hayes needs to get some respect as well. Great back for Michigan too.
For sure. It's Justice Hayes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that dude looked like a Michigan. He looked like he was born to play running back at Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Last question on the docket, y'all. I need y'all to put y'all's offensive coordinator hat on. And what can Texas do to help Arch Manning bounce back?
Some easy plays. Easy plays. They like you said, they was down 14-0 and he had to pass the ball. But they gave him easy plays though. When he missed the dude going across the middle on the 4th down. And I was like, he don't got it today. Dude was wide open, bro. And that was your fastest receiver, wasn't Wingo or something.
Yeah.
And he missed him coming across, man. Dude would have still been running. But he need to he gonna be all right this week because he gotta make easy throws, man. You know what I mean? Like short their patterns down and stuff like that. And then they gotta run the ball. They wasn't as physical at that line like I thought they was gonna be. Y'all made the one dude got Zay talking about him like he was all world. The defensive end. Y'all made him look good last week. Yeah. Was it 8 or 9? Number 8 or 9?
Yeah, Arbel Reese.
Yeah, y'all made him look good last week, bro.
Yeah.
If you know, I think there's been a lot of overreaction, especially with this Texas team. I know with my Notre Dame team. Sometimes when you start off the season on the road, hostile environment against a great team, all you need is a confidence booster. And, I think this is the perfect matchup for Arch Manning to get back on track. Like Coach said, give him some easy throws to make, build that confidence up, and run the ball, set up that play action, let him show off his passing skills, and I think Arch Manning will be fine, man. That was a tough game, and the thing I don't hear enough is y'all damn near won that game.
Yeah.
Y'all damn near won that game. So I think Arch Manning will be fine, man. It's a confidence thing. He'll make some easy throws. He'll have some mismatches to exploit. And Arch Manning will get back on track, man. He's fine.
I feel the same way. Like you said, that was a good point. They still almost had won the game. They had a chance, late in that fourth quarter with a drive. But I think running the ball, like Parlay said, starting off with a run game. Last year, I noticed that's the way they kind of got him into the offense and got him going. I think it'll be the same thing this year. Now, he's seen probably the best defense that he'll play against all year. You go back and you take every bit of that Ohio State film and you watch it and you be great. Go be great, young man. He's one of my guys. I know we've had our talks about him, but I think he definitely has a bounce back season after that loss to the Buckeyes. And it's just a game you can go back, and you can learn so much from. Take your time, be poised, and just a tough environment to play in. It's not the easiest place for anybody to play in. First start, college football, that's a big deal, especially on the road. So I think he'll be good.
Yeah, I think that they need to get him a couple of easy throws. One thing that they did for Quinn Ewers every game last year was they gave him either a screen or a real quick comeback route or something real nice and easy to get him going, man, to get his confidence up. Donnell made a good point that he don't necessarily, he can't throw across his body the way he need to because he don't put his feet in the right direction. You got to have your feet pointed to your target. And he got to get better at that, and he got to read the defense better, like KT said. I don't know that San Jose State's going to give him much of a contest. I hope they play zone as opposed to man-to-man. If they play zone, then that gives him more looks that he have to read the defense a little bit more. If they play man-to-man, then they're going to get outmatched. But I think getting some quick early throws, a screen or two, nice little comeback routes, something like that where all he got to do is set his feet and throw a quick just first guy, you know what I'm saying? A quick read. You ain't got to read the whole defense early in the game, though. Now, later on in the game, we want him to be able to do all of that. But I think they got to get him some quick throws where he automatically know, this first guy going to be open by the way we set things up. Run some target to motion so that way we can see what kind of defense they're playing and give him some nice, easy throws just to get his confidence up for sure.
Let me say this too, real quick, Rob. I had an OG that once told me, one of my mentors, Carlos Diggins, rest in peace, and he played college basketball at K-State with Mitch Richmond, and he was first team all defense, so he know what he's talking about, right? He told me in college, it's hard to go on anybody's home turf and get a victory. So I think your Longhorns will be fine, Rob.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, the defense traveled. That defense traveled. So long as that defense traveled and the run game was good enough, we just made too many mistakes in that game. And we didn't force Ohio State to do anything more than what they needed to do to win it. But I think we're going to be okay as well.
I agree.
All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate y'all making it this morning, man. We had a really good show. Thanks, everybody, for being in the chat, helping us out. Make sure you hit that like button. We should have at least 6 thumbs ups out there, man. So hit that like button, share our video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and share our videos with your friends and family. We're really trying to bring you as much content as possible. We're trying to get to the point where we're going 7 days a week. Somebody on this channel, or all of our channels are going to be going at least 7 days a week. That's what we're trying to get to. But you got to help us by subscribing, sharing our videos, so we can make as much content as possible. I appreciate y'all this morning, man. Y'all have a good one. Hope everybody's team has success this week.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
holler at y'all soon.
Peace and go blue.
Yes, sir. Go no.